and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here for having a holiday season on the live summit event in the Crew 2. I see Xmas. It is the third Christmas themed summon to be featured after the previous summons. Santa Cruz and its follow-up made its in-game appearance in December 2019 and 2020 respectively. Where the brand new street race event comes in to be in the same title name, but luckily 4 cars will be joining in onto the restrictions with 3 skills on any land-based vehicle will be going in to be participate. With the Elite Bundle number 9 comes in by having 3 cars are now welcome for having a next event will be going in to take the lineup, but there will be 1 street race, 1 touring car, and a hybrid car is going to be quite good out there to have a nice Christmas gift for all of us. If you're new to my YouTube channel, go and click the subscribe button and leave a like and comment at the section down below, and check out the links on the description if you really want to see more. Feel free to enjoy anytime you want for the entertainment. Now it's time to get ready to start the live summit event, and let's begin. First up in the bundle event at 20% discount on $416,079 in IC Xmas comes in to have an Audi R8 Coupe V10 Plus 2016 in the street race discipline. Second generation model comes in to have a 610 horsepower and a top speed of 205 miles per hour. Just like the first generation of the Audi R8, but this different style makes a very good modern sports car to be labeled in an all-wheel drive. So right now, I have 3 cars are now listed for having a checkup is now going in by having some restrictions. Don't forget to bring the Proto Hub 1 Inferno Edition in the drag race discipline. We'll get hot things up a notch. Proto Alpha Mark II in the 2018 to be in the Alpha Grand Prix. And for the rally raid discipline, the Mazda MX-5 Miata NA will be going off the track for having a Stage 1 in the US Speed Tour West Edition. 1 car coming up, and next up, Elite Bundle number 9 will be going in by having 3 cars will be listed by having some new rides will be joining in. Here it is, you guys. 3 cars are now added to the lineup as part of Elite Bundle number 9 after I got back from 2 events will be added up with some more currency credits for having a perfect discount in 15% at $2,097,375 is available at the purchase. Let's have a good look. First up is the Ktm Expo Gt4 2016 to be labeled as a touring car discipline. It is the race car version of the Expo R, equipped with the same 2.0 L turbocharged i4 Audi engine L-Brit with a greater amount of horsepower than its road-going counterparts. 360 horsepower and a top speed of 164 miles per hour. Perfect race car to be fitted as a GT4 regulations to be part of the FIA. Next up, the Porsche 911 GT Type 993. 1996 model comes in to be in the street race discipline, 430 horsepower and a top speed of 183 miles per hour. Equipped with a 3.6 L twin turbocharged flat 6 engine. It is part of the Porsche 993 line and was initially built in order to meet the homologation requirements for the GT2 class racing. And last but not least, the Koenigsegg CCR 2004 in the hypercar discipline. Debuted at the March 2004 in Geneva Auto Show on Switzerland, had its production limited to 14 units. Equipped with a 4.7 L Koenigsegg twin supercharged B engine, was also to be based on a floored modular engine capable of developing at 806 horsepower at 6,900 revolutions per minute. 795 horsepower and a top speed of 245 miles per hour. But this vehicle is very good to be joining in for having a good lineup for having some Koenigsegg fans out there for having this good productive vehicle was also made in 2004. So let's get these 3 cars for only exclusive to be part of the Night Bundle Elite. And here we go, and we got some good Christmas vehicles we'll be putting up with some good gifts. Last week from Lucha Libre, ranked 4,152nd place to be on the Platinum by having 4 rewards including a Libre tire is now acquired for having a good vanity to be added to your collection. So it looks like it's time to switch over from the Mexican heritage and go on over for having a holiday festive cheer. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas for having a special live summon event will be included with 4 different rewards and 6 events with 3 skills will be taking on for having a good holiday icy Xmas cheer. So let's start out with 3 skills on any land-based vehicle will be going in by having a street race discipline to be taking place in Jackson Hole Valley for the escape. For the most recommendation, so I have to switch over from the street race into a hypercar discipline we'll be choosing on any 2 types of roads by any routes, so I hope I could probably have to switch over onto my Bugatti Divo with a UDRS White Star. Alright, just gonna have to sit back and wait. Switch my Divo, we'll be at the go. Let's go over to take the opposite route, so maybe the main route is going to be very challenging by a tricky situation whenever it depends on which discipline whenever you're going to have to use for the downhill approach. So luckily, I have to go over by having a good main opposite effect is going to be quite giving a good approach onto the tunnel. So let's drive away and reach up onto the high yards. Let's kick it up onto the high gear. There you go. Main objective complete. Just gonna have to stay focused, you guys. Okay, looks like right at the good direction. But luckily for the turns, it's gonna be a little bit tricky as usual. Keep it up. The yard is going a little bit more increased if the red zone is keep coming in. So how do you guys are feeling excited for Christmas? Yes? But of course, we're all good drivers for this year, but sometimes whenever we have to keep a good focus whenever it comes in to be taking part in the live summon, what actually gives a good holiday cheer by having good rewards, and luckily with some vanities might comes in by having a discount will be included for this week. But it's about to get a little bit tricky out there for having some slightly turns. We'll have to get closer if the red zone maybe keep catching up onto me. 5,000 yards. There you go. Still gets a lot of basics. And there you have it. Almost to be at 6,000 yards. So I'm at 5923 yards. Outcome summary check. And there you go, folks. First skill on a land-based vehicle is now achieved by having 100,000 points. 1 down, 8 more events to go until the holiday season comes in onto Christmas Day for tomorrow. Next up, time to take on for the slalom will be at the off-road discipline to be at Salt Lake Resorts. Slalom, time to slide around by having 11 right turns will be giving a good racking up by having a score breaker will do the limit. Now, time to switch up onto my rally raid vehicle, onto the filters, double check if anything might need a score breaker, so that should be quite giving some extra needs. Alright, looks like Hoodlum Racing Crew edition of the Volkswagen Beetle. I might need the parts will be switched over onto the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, will be exchanged for having some fully well adjusted automatically. Vanity will be need to change. Okay, there you go. Ice tire. I might need to have a different skid effect. We'll be going over onto the ground. So I have to make sure I'll have to put up with some vanities for my Mercedes-Benz S-Class from the rally rate event from the full walkthrough. There you go. Christmas tree is now placed on top of the pickup truck. Guys, this looks pretty festive to me, and for the Christmas tree was pretty good to have a nice pickup truck to be driving around onto the off-road areas. Hold on a second. Minor setback. I might need a pickup truck for the recommendation on the job. Okay, that's better. Time to turn the engine on and let's enter onto the slalom for having a good skills. There you go. Slide around between the left and right. There's one player coming in. Gonna have to give some extra space. Okay, looks like he's putting up with an ice tire in it. That's very nice. So I hope this is going to be quite brilliant to be driving around onto the dirt for having a nice ice cold hearted tire. Oh boy, looks like time runs out. Gonna have to do it fast and quick. And so far so close. 14,499 points. Man, that was so good and very racking up onto the 100,000 points to be added by 48,970 points. Off-road skills makes a good slalom to be fantastic for the holidays. Third skill on the land-based vehicle, we're going in onto the airport in New York City for having another course of the slalom. So this will be the perfect time we'll be switched over onto the motorbike from the rally raid vehicle is going to be doing a job well done. Here's a temporary livery design on the KTM 1190 RC8 R-Track with the UDRS in Sportec to be colored in green from blue. But luckily, with some 3 vanities that I put up with for having a different type of Christmas decoration is going to be quite come in handy. So here it is right now. Low poly golden smoke, green prismatic nitro, and the enforcer beacon underglow. Very good, and time to get ready to take on for having a third skill. We'll be slalom around onto the airport for having a single motorbike. We'll be taking a good high chance for having a skill will be going increased by the points. So let's do this. Slow and steady by having a good lean formation. Very good. Gonna have to get past through. 50% complete by the main objective. Pace it up. Turning around and go through onto the next gate. Not to worry. It's only just a skill. But I still got this one. There you go. Looks like 21,844 points. Third skill on the Touring Car Pro Racing Discipline is going to be well complete. Once again, 100,000 points to be added by 51,628 points. Alright, time to get ready to start 6 events. We'll be on the road by having a holiday cheer. First up, to be in the same title by having a good reward for having a vanity to be on the nitro. I see Xmas, here I come. The most perfect, wonderful time to be having a good sprint race for the street race discipline. So clearly, for only one vehicle that I have to be prepared for some good decorations for having a good rooftop. So I hope I could probably have to put up with some tire vanities on my Corvette CR1 C6 is now at the go. Wait for it. And here it is. All icy up and ready to go by having a Christmas tree to be placed on top of my Corvette. So let's get ready to roll, you guys. Let this be a most wonderful Christmas event to be taking part in IC Xmas. So good out there for having a brand new race event will be featured for this week. So better get ready because all the cheers of the excitement will be going on for having a winter wonderland.
You're gonna win this easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Alright, first place, here I come. Time to turn the Christmas tree lights on and press on by having a good route out there to be on the same course. I cannot believe it. This race gives me a most wonderful winter cheer. Just gonna have to keep trying to do my best out there, folks. Taking first place and climbing up onto the 100,000 points is doing the main goal of the objective. Checkpoint clear. Now coming in onto the tunnel. Slow down. Alright, very good and very excited. So this race also takes place in the Midwest between the areas of Chicago. So I hope this is going to be quite giving a good place out there to be driving around onto the winter season. But clearly, for your favorite rides will get covered up in snow. 35% in the progression, cleared to proceed on to the next checkpoint. Keep it good steady, and going past through for having a next turn. But I know the handling might be quite very challenging for my Corvette CR1. Maybe quite put up with some icy tire is going to be well skidding around onto the streets, but the slippery is going to be a little bit terrain out there to be on the ice. Absolutely clear. Now moving on to take the next checkpoint. Boost them up quickly and pass down after taking the next checkpoint. Okay, very good. Handling is doing well. We're about to be going over onto the next area, because this background environment is going to be a little bit chilly out there to be in the cold winter. Halfway there, folks. We're almost there to keep it up. Time to boost them up. Checkpoint clear. Wow, looks like this is going to be quite a miracle moment out there for celebrate the holidays. Time to press on. Okay, time to do the braking points. Keep a good handling and take a good right turn to be respond to be moving on into the next tunnel. 10% to go in the remaining, folks. I hope I can probably do this. And look, the Christmas light pass by. Man, looks like this is a very good stunning visual effect for having a nice home decoration to be taking on for having a final stretch. And there you have it, folks. Ice Ice Baby. Under 3 minutes and 22 seconds is now marked on the clock. But it was a very good event that I tried out for the first time. Same thing as the similar from the previous event to be in the same course layout. But that was going to be a pretty good icy Christmas miracle for taking part in the first live summit event for this week. Next up, we're going in to take on White Mountains for the motocross discipline. Same winter condition comes in to be at the night time. Luckily, time to switch over onto my motorbike discipline to be using with the KTM 450 EXC with the UDRS in Sportec will be used for having a main color variant. But eventually, red, golden, white, yellow, or maybe just gonna have green color for having some good different types of the festive variants that will be quite very eligible for participate in the live summit. But custom liveries can welcome at any time to celebrate the holidays is gonna be quite giving some good miracle moments. Alright, let's do this. Time to go on to be in the White Mountains, ladies and gentlemen.
3.
Let this be the most awesome motocross race event of all time. We'll be racing around for having a tough terrain in the White Mountains. So here I go.
Fingers are crossed.
First place at the head start. Now gonna have to take on with some bumps and terrains we'll be going around. But it will be difficult, so I have to be very more careful and take a lot of exercise caution. Slide around and keep a good steady pace for having a good mental control. Checkpoint clear. Turn around onto the right. Slide it to the left. And here comes the flip. Oh yeah, now this is an awesome jump. Clearly, but a winter fantastic jump. Still got this in the bag, viewers. Passing through with some speed bumps, and now comes in to take the hard part. Mostly for the hard part, but a better part will be doing a good length of the distance to go gravity. Okay, this is gonna be the final lap. Keep it good, slow down. Regain control. Pass through to the next checkpoint by the same. Ho ho ho. Stable work performance. Yeah, I really knew this course is gonna be quite good for having a white mountains to be part of Icy Xmas. Just gonna have to slide around like having a snowboard. Well, clearly I don't do snowboarding in the snow because it also depends on the different areas and conditions to be on the climate change. Alright, here comes the final stretch. Time to hit the nitro and make my way to the podium. First place, 45,000 bucks to be earned and a good successful outcome for the activity performance. Maybe I could probably keep that for having a good first attempt. But this is going to be quite very difficult for having a motocross race, folks. White Mountains, second event to be well complete for only 4 more to go. Okay, now let's see. So this might be depends on for every different kinds of rewards when participate in an event to be featured on Icy Xmas. But clearly, it was going to be quite good to have an Icicle Nitro was also to be earned to be included. So I hope I could probably have to try it out onto the Albert Grand Prix discipline. Go over onto the discipline, switch from touring car into Albert Grand Prix. Alright, so I'll be using for the Proto Alpha Mark II, we'll be doing the next event, so I hope I could probably have to switch from a different Nitro, we'll be onto the Vanity. Okay, there you go. So this Nitro calls Ice Stellicy. Well, maybe this is definitely hard to pronounce, but it looks pretty cool, and a rare Vanity will be quite giving a good icicle taste for having a Nitro. But hold on, looks like one reward unlock. Yes, now this is what I'm talking about. The 3100 Rocket Company service vehicle of the Chevy vehicle is now added onto the collection. One item unlocked and is about to be ready to go on for having a good preview for having a test drive whenever it comes in to be taking part in the contractor. This vehicle is very good for having a good transportation service for hauling around onto the service for the Rocket Company. Next up, the Giants for the Albert Grand Prix will be raring to go for having a good winter event. So I hope every Albert Grand Prix race cars can actually put up with the ice tire is about to go slippery, but clearly for having a good differences between the racing compound tires and an icicle tires might comes in by having a good difference. But luckily, recommendation is going to be quite labeled onto the restrictions, folks. So better make sure to grab your Mark II version of the Proto Alpha. Will be on the track for having a good different color based on the line. We'll be having some good cyan color. Will be represent for having a good winter snow condition. Will be on the roll. So let's do this, you guys. Let's do this and go faster for the competition for having a good winter Wonderland season. Will be at the West Coast.
Listen to the engine. It's saying, let's win.
Okay, so they always love to put up with some racing compound tires, but an icicle compound racing tires is going to be quite suitable for having a good different role to be on the competition. So let's kick it up onto the high gear, folks. Climb up onto the hill and take on for the right side corner. Will be entered in to be part of the full part of the complex. But this will be the second time to be featured in the live summit after the Halloween theme, but it will be quite changed up from a ghost fog into a winter fog condition. It's going to be quite put up with some snowflakes around the track. But sometimes it's always gets slippery to be well pretend. Lap number 1 clear. Onward to lap number 2. Keep a good, nice, steady pace. There you go. Just gonna have to keep a good maintained control of the handling for having a mobility. Five seconds onto the range of the gap. It's all fine. Maybe this is gonna be quite giving a good icicle skink on the track. Keep going down. Take the final corner. Will be well proceed. Halfway there onto the third lap. Will be press on after the second lap. But man, looks like the ice tire is going to be quite put up with some snow in it. Can't you see it, folks? Whenever you're racing, by putting up with an ice tire to be well equipped to be labeled as a vanity is going to be quite giving some differences when you participate in a lap summit or in free mode if there's might be snow comes by. But I kind of like it. But this makes a pretty good skating style. We'll be racing around onto the track. Time to boost them up. But man, looks like this nitro is going solid ice. But I kind of like it. That different kind of nitro is going frozen solid for having a good heated temperature. Just gonna have to stay focused and go over onto the outside section. Boost them up quickly. Hold the brake and slide it up onto the next corner to be passed over into the next sector. Wow. It's gonna have to keep a little bit more steady because the handling might get slippery as always. Okay, let's go and take the final stretch. We'll be at the last turn. One last boost. And now I have finally won the race for having an Alpha Grand Prix Winter Edition. Skill mechanic and doing a good hobby wheel check for having a single star earned. Alright, 7 legendary loot parts will be received as a prize reward. So this will be quite putting up with a Christmas reward prize for all of us. 3 events complete, 3 more to go. Alright, still getting cold out there, folks, but the nighttime depends on every condition in different locations we'll be taking on for the next rally raid event to be on the mixed event for the Rallycross. We'll be taking part in stage 1 of the US Speed Tour West Edition. Better make sure to put up with the Mazda MX-5 Roadster because I have already got it in for having a good, cold, winter style variant to be outfitted with a Christmas tree. So how do you guys like it? Looks pretty cool to have a Christmas tree on top for the Roadster. Well, maybe let's see how it turns out to be. So let's go over there and take on for having a good course to be on the time attack. This will be the perfect moment. We'll be driving around onto the mountains. Let's kick it up onto the high gear and here we go. Let's get the show on the road.
Welcome to the start of US Speed Tour West, stage number 1. From South Dakota's Black Hills to Wyoming's Yellowstone Park.
Ho ho ho, this will be a rally raid rush to go on the mountains. So let's keep it up and try to do some main route on every checkpoint as we always did from the last lap summon and also for the main event. Alright, looks like the Roadster is doing well and keeping up by having a good drift. Giving a good extra height for the suspension is going to be much brilliant to be driving around onto the snow area. Okay, too late for having a good braking point. Now let's go on to the mountains. So I always turn in the Christmas tree lights on to have a good signal source as a beacon. But clearly, this makes a very good perfect vanity for having 1 crew credit for having a item to be well needed. Only for the holidays that I have got it from last year. So let's keep things up a notch and climb up onto the mountains. So I'm at Black Hills. take the left corner, we'll be passed through onto the next checkpoint. Brilliant. Okay, hill climbing is doing good out there for the Mazda MX-5. Time to boost them up. Switched up onto the different course for having a different route. Kick it up onto the drift. Gonna have to be a little bit more patient on the nitro for having a standby. Almost there at 40%. Okay, halfway there for the full nitro, so I have to use it instead. Gonna have to brace myself. Sharp turn at the 90-degree angle, will be moving on towards the next area for having a hill climb technique. Looks like it's still cold out there, but also doing the driving is going to be doing the matters. Halfway there. Looks like my body is still heating up. Time to boost them up again. Okay, doing great. Doing much average. And for the total gap time is getting closer for only 20 seconds. Same time in 19 seconds. Still gets a lot of good effort out there. So let's switch up onto the different course. Slide around like doing some skiing. Checkpoint clear. So I hope I could probably have to get something else I really want for Christmas. Well, clearly I just got something for my best recommendation for a gift. A 100 PlayStation card may be quite giving my one-way ticket to have a pre-order to have Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 4, but clearly I may not have a PlayStation 5 yet, but maybe I have to get it someday because a whole lot of video clips I just put up with, because it may also require with some more additional gigabytes, but I know it takes a lot of more video editing to do, folks, because it takes a lot of hard work to do some more development while taking some stress. But maybe I have to keep working on until at the end of 2021. But I still got a lot of upcoming content videos to be focusing on in the FIA Gran Turismo Championship of the Nations Cup and Manufacturer Series in the 2021 Exhibition Series in Season 2. But how are things going so long out there for having some progress for having a main focus in the 2021 series? It still takes a while, but I know it may get a little bit overwhelmed on me sometimes, so I'll have to make sure I'll have to get things moved for the final stretch after this.
Who will be the fastest?
Alright, there you are. 5 minutes and 11.857 seconds by having a good achieved objective time to be climbing up onto the podium. But yes sirree, 100,000 points is now marked for the check mark for having a 3,027 points to be added for having an extra bonus. 2 more to go. Save it for having a hot temperature for having some drag race. Next up, once upon a time in Brooklyn for the Audi R8 Coupe B10 Plus by having 20 motor stars for having a reward. So let's get ready to go down over onto the east coast of New York City. Driving around in Manhattan gives a good nighttime to go let it snow. For the record, I always do some daily uploads, but the routine may be quite come up because the pandemic was already still there. But however, still taking a lot of long delays in the 2021 series and Season 2 of the Exhibition series in the Manufacturer series and Nations Cup, so I have to make sure to do some longer delays by having a long patient, so I have to do a one-man job. So right now, for the next event in IC Xmas, the Audi R8 Coupe V10 Plus will be putting up with a maximum performance level in 280 with a horsepower of 950 and a top speed of 227 miles per hour. Outfitted with an IC tire, and this makes a good, perfect opportunity to be driving around in the Big Apple and Brooklyn. We'll be having a sprint race. So I'm about to be ready to try it out and get myself prepared for having a good winter wonderland. We'll be racing around in Brooklyn. Starting grid will be at the last, so let's do this, you guys. Winter nighttime always comes around in Christmas Eve, so let's get ready to roll for the second generation of the Audi R8 takes the lead by having a head start.
Faster! Seriously, go faster!
Alright, putting up with a full boost by having a nitro chemist to be outfitted, and now the corners will be goes on to be having a different condition. Sliding around, take the op ramp and enters to the streets of Brooklyn. So for the second generation Audi R8 looks very good to have a different exterior style to be outfitted with an updated version as the first generation model back in 2007 as a debut. But luckily, however, was also to be used as a concept car to be as a Le Mans Quattro is now also to be debuted in about the mid-2000s. But this vehicle looks a very true successor to the first generation Audi R8, makes a pretty good debut as a 2016 in the second generation model. Putting up with the smoke as a low poly golden color and cruising around by putting up with a prismatic nitro to be in green. Crossing through and pass on to the next checkpoint by taking a left turn. So I have to take a good look at this interior view. Looks very modern and a very good style to have a nice detail to be having a good look for the second generation Audi R8. Capable to be driving as an all-wheel drive, but luckily, however, it was also to be perfect to be outfitted to have a race modification to be as an LMS version. Just like the original Audi R8 LMS was also to be debuted back in 2009, racing around in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. But as you may have seen it in Gran Turismo Sport as a Group 3 car. But clearly, this road car makes a pretty good perfect spot for having a good vehicle to be featured in the Crew 2. But especially in Need for Speed series like Payback and Heat. That car looks like a charm and pretty well capable to be driving onto the street race discipline to be welcomed onto the open world track. Alright, keep going forward, pass on to the next checkpoint in the afternoon. Wow, looks like several residents are staying at home for the holidays for having a good night's sleep. Alright, checkpoint clear. Now keep going. Slow down. But we're not yet far. There you go. Now for the full final stretch. Here it is. Finish line is just right up ahead. Alright, perfection and a pure driving for having a daily Motor Stars earned. Wow, how incredible is that, folks? But clearly for the first attempt by using the second generation Audi R8 works like a perfect charm. The final event is now going in towards the last after spending 5 events in a cold weather condition, but this is going to be quite going up onto the high temperature. But take a good look, you guys. 999 followers in FDR Drive by using the Proto Hub 1 Infernal Edition. But clearly, almost to be at 1 million is going to be minus by 1. So I hope I could probably have to turn up the temperature because it will have to go hotter as it looks to be. So let's do this, you guys. FDR drive for the final event in Icy Xmas will get ready to heat things up a notch. Well folks, save it for having a nice, hot, warm vehicle. Will be participate in the winter theme summit. We'll be having a good drag race to be in the east coast of New York City. Putting up with a nitro chemist will be needed as a reminder, viewers. So let's do this, taking 3 runs and go hotter on to the max. So let's beat the time in 13.433 seconds. Run number 1, here I go. Okay, stay steady on the green zone and perfect burn. Okay, very good. More times the perfect, 1 times the good. Go full speed and stopping at the finish line. Wow, cannot believe it, the Inferno Hub 1 just barely got its heat spots, just barely warmed up onto the high temperature. Alright, let's go again on to run number 2. Better make sure we have to do the same thing at the same time. Burn them up. It's gonna get cozy out there on the inside. Okay, there you go. Perfect burn and Saved by the Bell. Okay. Doing great, doing good. Full speed and second run to be well cleared. Alright, let's see for the second main outcome. 0.106 seconds onto the red mark. Alright, here comes for the final run. I hope this Inferno Overdrive could probably have to get things up a notch. Final run, viewers. Alright, stay at it. Perfect burn to do the same. And let's go green. Okay, go velocity by 0 to 60 seconds and goes up onto 360 miles per hour. Gear shift is good, so looks like 11.862 seconds is now finally well achieved. Sweet, cold victory in a hot effort. Good news is, 100,000 points to be added by 19,712 points is now going in to be marked for having a main summary at the first attempt. I hope you guys did a wonderful, great job out there for participate in Icy Xmas of the Live Summit. 6 events takes place in nighttime with a snow condition, comes in by having a good winter wonderland to celebrate Christmas. Especially for only 3 skills comes in by different condition, might be quite goes in onto real time. But it also depends between the hot or cold seasons is now actually to be in the winter season. But luckily to be taking part in the same event with a title in it may comes in by having a good single prize reward as a vanity. Will be having a good suitable icicle nitro is going to be quite chilling out to go faster by the speed. For only 2 events like motocross and rally raid in 45,000 bucks as a reward. Very good out there to be driving around onto the off-road. For the Albert Grand Prix, racing at the Giants for having a snow time to be in the West Coast. But man, no matter how the West Coast may be quite put up with some snow in it whenever you have to check on for the weather. For the Audi RA V10 Plus to be racing around in Brooklyn at the east coast of New York City. But this is a very good second generation sports car to be well driven to be as an all-wheel drive. But I kind of like it. It looks very good to be as a first generation model of the Audi R8 back in 2007 as a debut in Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. But however, it still appears in Gran Turismo Sport, but I also still have a Total Drama livery to be represent as the Killer Fast. But also save it for the best part. Drag race to go fired up onto the Proto Hub 1 Inferno Edition may keep ourselves warm whenever we have to stay inside for having a cold winter season. But I kind of like it, but it will have to go fired up to have some different kinds of fire fantasies if you guys have already owned. I still didn't have any kinds of fire type fantasies that might be quite suitable for the Inferno edition of the Proto Hub 1. So right now folks, I see Xmas is finished and we're about to be going in to have a New Year's Eve for the next live summit event featuring the Green Flash edition of the Porsche Carrera GT, along with the star-shaped smoke as a common fantasy, just like the bug-shaped smoke to be in the same category. So let's have a good look for the preview. 2 vehicles will be required to participate for having a good celebration at the end of 2021 until we look forward on to 2022. Enjoy your gifts everyone. So I have to get ready to go for the final race in Season 2 of the 2021 Exhibition Series for the Manufacturer Series on Gran Turismo Sport, racing at Sardinia Road Track B course layout for the Group 3 category. Wish me luck everyone, I'll do my best. Thank you for tuning in to my video folks, I hope you really enjoy, so make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads to be turned on, and the links on the description down below if you really want to see more. You can check it out on Instagram, DBennetArt, GT Planet, and other social media platforms if you really want to follow me, and don't forget to support my main project, Vision Total Drama, the next chapter of the Total Drama fan art to support the community. I'll be seeing you guys next time for continue on in the live summit event in the Crew 2, and have a Merry Christmas, and I look forward to see you again for the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.